All right, so right now I'm sitting here at UAM, University of Arkansas at Monticello, with a guy who just last night, as of this recording, basically brought the house down here at the Steelman Fieldhouse. Game-winning three-point shot, 4 seconds left on the clock, and he's been clutch all season long. Right now I want to bring this guy in, KJ Lesure. KJ, How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
All right, man. Well, it's good to have you here. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sure you got all kinds of tests and studying and stuff like that going on.
Yes, sir.
You just got out of class, didn't you?
Yep, just got out of class, went and grabbed me a bite to eat right before I came over here.
Yeah, so you got the little Chick-fil-A. You got Chick-fil-A here at UAM. Great people there.
Yep.
So what do you study here at UAM?
Business. My degree is business management. So it's pretty good.
All right, so what do you plan to do whenever you graduate? Because you're a senior, right?
Yep, a senior. Well, I wanted to be a pharmacist at one time, but then now I transitioned to the business side of everything. So I want to get into pharmaceutical sales, be a pharmaceutical sales rep, and on the business side of, just a pharmacy. I did an internship, and being a regular pharmacist, it's a great job, pays well, you meet a lot of people, but it's kind of boring. So I wanted to be on the business side of it and, get to travel and, stuff like that. So that's why I changed to business management instead of just doing pharmacy.
Well, that's pretty cool. And talking about traveling, you are originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, right?
Yes, sir. A long way from here.
So how did you find your way down here to Monticello?
Okay, well, I went to junior college in Tennessee. So my mom moved to Nashville my junior year. I went to Centennial High School my junior and senior year. And Columbia State Community College is right up the street from there. So I went to JUCO there, played 2 years. And my coach and the assistant coach here at Monticello had a great relationship. And when I came on my visit, it just felt like it was the place to be. Coach Tolin made me feel just at home. And, I look at him as a father figure and just the way he runs his program and, the things that he's taught me off the court, not just being a basketball player, it's more about your character, your leadership, and, the community aspect. And, when I saw that in him and, how he ran his program, it just was a no-brainer for me to come here.
Well, that's awesome. We're glad to have you here. Obviously, this season has been you guys have had a rough patch this season. I mean, we can't ignore that.
Yeah.
But you guys have had a great season.
Yeah.
You guys are on a win streak now. You just avenged a loss last night against Southern Arkansas.
Yeah.
Coming up tomorrow, you've got another ball game trying to come back from a loss back in December against Arkansas Tech.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that here in just a few minutes. But, of course, Coach Tolin, you just said he's like a father figure to you. That's great. We've got people that come from all over the world here at UAM. I mean, Spain, Sweden.
True.
We've got basketball players from Jamaica here. So, I mean, really, everybody seems to find their way here to Monticello somehow. Yeah. But, KJ, you have been a great asset to the basketball team this year. So on behalf of everybody, thank you for your contributions to the basketball team this year, especially last night, man. I mean, we had to throw people off the court last night.
I saw that. I saw that in there.
Yeah, so, I mean, very intense, and that's why we always invite everybody to come out to the Steelman Fieldhouse for all the basketball games because it's as good as it gets. At what point did you decide you wanted to play basketball? Was it just always a thing for you?
Actually, it wasn't. It was probably about, 5 or 6. Most kids was watching cartoons and stuff like that. And I remember my mom always telling me, like, you always want to watch ESPN. You always wanted to watch basketball. You always wanted to watch sports. And she's like, man, this kid, like, you don't want to watch cartoons or anything like that. And so, ever since then, I just was always a busybody. So my mom was like, okay, let's put this energy to work. And so I started off playing soccer. Soccer was my thing, pretty fast, pretty quick. So that was I played soccer for the longest. And then eventually when I got a little older, they was like, okay, this kid's fast, So they put a basketball in my hand.
Yeah.
And, my mom, picked up on it and she takes everything so seriously as far as, seeing me happy. And, she went over and beyond and put me in camps, put me in all these type of leagues, the YMCA. And just from there, I just love the game of basketball.
So growing up in Indianapolis, obviously, that's Pacers country.
Yep.
Basketball, it's almost like a religion up there.
Yeah.
So a lot of competition up there for you growing up?
Basketball is they call Indiana the basketball state. It's high school games, 3,000 people. It's crazy there.
Wow.
For sure.
So What are the differences playing basketball growing up in Indy as opposed to playing basketball down here at such a crucial point in the season? Obviously, it's a different kind of support, I would think, between your hometown and here at Monticello. Obviously, people are crazy about their Boll Weevils here, but what are the differences there?
The differences there is more kind of like a rivalry. Here we have rivals and stuff like that, but the towns and stuff like that are a lot smaller, so everybody comes out and they support a lot different. Whereas in a big city, you have a school, like I went to high school and I had like 3,000 people, 4,000 people, so it's just not so close niche. So here, everybody. I can talk to all the football players and hey, come out to our game. I can't reach out to all the football players that in Indiana and stuff like that. So here it's more of a closer family, I feel like.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like you almost have sort of a personal relationship with the people here because after the games you're always one of the guys that goes around, shakes people's hands. You go to high school games around here in the community. I mean, you're always taking part and almost sort of giving back to the community.
Yeah.
And the people see things like that, and then they want to support you.
Exactly.
And then you start seeing the same faces in the crowd because it's a smaller crowd. You can pick people out. You sort of build relationships with people. So, as far as going to school here at UAM, your professors and things like that, how do you feel like you've been supported from the people in leadership roles in your life?
Man, it's crazy. I get, give the utmost respect to everybody on campus here, especially, the professors, because, a lot of schools, I ain't gonna say they look down on the athletes or, necessarily, but they don't make it easy. Where all the professors here open you with open arms, if you need help or anything. And, one of the big leaders in our community, Dr. Moses Goldman, he's been such an inspiration to me, spiritually, academically. He gives me so much, wisdom and stuff like that. And I look up to him as just a leader. He's a great leader in the community, and the stuff that he does with, this university is outstanding. And, that's one of the people that I've grown to really look up to while I've been here.
Well, that's awesome. That's one of the things that, I'm not originally from Monticello either. And whenever I moved to Monticello a few years ago, I realized, the friends that you do make here, I mean, they almost become family. You feel a lot of support from the people in this community.
Yeah.
And that's great. And, you keep putting numbers on the board like you've been doing, you're going to get a lot more support.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just take a look at it. So far this season, you've scored 32 points in a game against Northwestern Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
You made 14 out of 15 free throws in a game against Northwestern Oklahoma. That's crazy.
That is a lot of free throws.
If I go to the line 15 times, I'm going to make 3 of them. Rebounds, 11 rebounds in a game against Harding. You got 13 assists against Jarvis Christian. To my knowledge, you've got 1 double-double on the season. Take me through that.
It's pretty much tunnel vision, I just do whatever my team needs me to do to win. Every night it might not be my night to score, put the ball up. It might be distributing to other players that, are hot. And so, as a leader of the team, I just feel like winning the game is the biggest thing for me. And so I'm going to go out there every night and just do whatever it takes to win.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a good mentality to have. One thing that, I was talking with Bernijah with a couple of days ago. One thing I've noticed watching all these games between the Weevils and the Blossoms, there are no selfish plays, no shots made when they don't need to be made, things like that. No one is trying to take the attention for themselves. It is completely 100% a group effort out there on the court. It shows. As far as the guys that you play with on your team, Slocum, Wanye King, Austin Hardy, all these guys, what's the relationship like?
Man, for this team, we're like family. We're all brothers, and it shows on the court. We have a relationship off the court, so it makes it a lot easier, a lot enjoyable on the court. It flows a lot better. Even with a tough loss or a good win, we can go off the court, hang out with each other, and that just makes it a lot better. So it transitions to the game of basketball.
I feel like it would make things a lot easier out there on the court as far as your chemistry as a team. If you guys know each other inside and out, and don't just show up and clock in and clock out. You can't do that if you're going to be on a team together. So that really translates, I think, because a couple of weeks ago, big tragedy. happen. You know, we lost one of the greatest of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. And, of course, we lost his daughter and 7 other people as well. But as someone in the middle of such an important basketball season, it's your senior year in college, I'm sure Kobe Bryant had to be on your radar growing up. I mean, anybody from this generation would probably say he's one of the greatest of all time. Did you guys feel that on a certain level? We
did feel that on a certain level just from the basketball community. But one thing, you know, Coach talked about was, you know, giving it your all. And, you know, we was having a tough time. You know, we was on a losing streak, and then the tragedy happened. And, you know, Coach just brought us together and just like, you know, every day take advantage of it. You know, any day can be your last day. And, you know, like Kobe was one of the best competitors ever. So you don't want to just have any regrets. So, you know, from there on out, you know, we want to compete harder in practice, do everything that we can do so we don't have any regrets, because you never know when your last day will be.
That's right. You know, guys like Kobe Bryant, of course Michael Jordan, he's always the go-to. LeBron James now. Who would you say that you like to look to for the most influence in the game of basketball? Who are some of the guys that, you know, you grew up watching, wanted to be like, and things like that?
Kyrie Irving was definitely, you know, somebody I model my game after. But, you know, now I've been looking a lot into Damian Lillard, because Damian Lillard doesn't have a super team around him and, you know, stuff like that. And he's mentioned multiple times he's not interested in going to a super team. He's going to win with his brothers that he have now. And so that just, you know, clicks to me. Like, you could take whatever team you have and, you know, go to battle with them every day, and you can become successful. And, you know, that's one person that I really look up to, you know, in this time of day.
That's right. Team effort is, I think, goes a long way, a lot farther than just, you know, an individual effort.
Yes.
And last night was all about a team effort. You guys were down by 18 at halftime.
Yeah.
Somehow came back. You got the winning three-pointer with 4 seconds left in the game. What was halftime like? That's what I want to know.
Halftime was crucial, but, you know, one thing about Coach Tolin, he knows how to bring the best out of us. You know, it's a crazy thing. We've been down 20 multiple games, you know, on our season, which is not always a good thing, but it shows how tough our team is, honestly. And, you know, Coach Tolin always says the right thing in the right moments to, you know, kind of light a fire underneath us so that, you know, we come out ready to go. And that's what happened last night.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Had a feeling a lot of words were said at halftime. But you guys came out, you played a completely different ball game. You played your ball game in the second half, which is exactly what had to happen for you guys to come back and win. To my knowledge, the biggest comeback of the season. What was after the game like for you guys?
It was a celebration. You know, it was just kind of relief. You know, it was a rivalry game. We went over there and lost last time, so it's always good to, you know, beat an opponent that you lost to. So, you know, after the game, we was hype and, you know, very supportive of our teammates and everything like that. So it was a good experience.
So that was last night. Coming up tomorrow night, you've got a game against Arkansas Tech. Now, the last time you two teams met were back in December. You lost that game 75-70. So what's been the game plan going into this Saturday? Of course, don't give any specifics away.
Oh, yeah.
But what's been the do you guys know what the issue was in the last game? Do you know how to fix that? Are you guys ready for tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely ready. You know, as far as us, we feel like as a team, as long as we play our game, you know, we can compete with anybody in the country. And so that's the biggest thing. Our coach has always been telling us to compete and, you know, do what we can do and, you know, control what we can control, you know. And so, like, last time we played them, we didn't play our game. We didn't play up to our potential. And, you know, we had a lot of mental mistakes that didn't have anything to do with basketball. It had to do, you know, with us, you know, as far as just turning the ball over and just mental mistakes that shouldn't happen. And so, you know, our coaches prepare us really well with scouting reports and stuff like that. And so I feel like now in the season, we take our time and, you know, we put a lot more effort into scouting as, you know, as a team. And, you know, that translates to a game.
So moving forward, you know, you guys, a lot of you guys are leaving the team this year. You know, you're a senior. You know, we've discussed what you plan on doing when you graduate this year. What about the Boll Weevils after this year? I mean, we've got young guys on the team that haven't had much of an opportunity to play yet. You know, Cole Whitaker comes to mind. He's from Calico Rock. That's a basketball school, you know. State championship with Cole Whitaker. Do you see leadership ability in a guy like Cole or any of the younger guys that haven't had a chance to step up this year? What's your prediction next year?
My prediction is they're going to take off, you know, right where we leave them. You know, I feel like Coach Johnson and Coach Tolin and the coaching staff here, they do a great job with, you know, finding talent and, you know, getting them in here. And, you know, once they get them in here, they have the blueprint to winning. So, you know, once you have the blueprint, you have it there. So I feel like they'll be fine. And, you know, one person that I would say, you know, a younger guy is Blakely Cobb. Blakely Cobb is, you know, been really vocal, you know, as a freshman, and him and Cole, matter of fact, just been vocal. And, you know, even when times are rough, you can always hear their voice, and, you know, they're always giving energy and stuff like that. So I feel like next year they'll have a, you know, a bigger role in the team. And, you know, long as they see that from a, you know, lower classman, it's gonna help a lot.
Yep. And well, KJ, we really appreciate everything you've done. We wish you nothing but the best going into your business career. And you got a fan for life.
Yes, sir.
And we'll always be supporting you, and we'll always you know, maybe 10 years from now, when you're a successful businessman, wherever you are, maybe you can come back down for an interview.
I'm always going to be there. I'm going to do it for sure.
All right. Where are they now? That's what we'll call it.
Where are they now?
KJ, thanks a lot for sitting down with me today, man, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.